Feliz lunes, DeAndre. ¿Cómo estás? Can you hear me okay?
Yes, ma'am. How are
Muy
you?
bien. Good. How was your weekend?
Um, Other than the Wi-Fi was out, so I had to went to my sister's. But other than that, it's been all right.
Wi-Fi was out, huh?
Yeah, it was a wow issue, the connection, the wire connection.
Just at your house or
Yes, ma'am.
in the neighborhood?
It's in my house.
Yeah. I tell you, I just can't. I don't know. I guess I'm old, DeAndre. Sometimes I just want to disconnect from everything.
I feel like that too. I can't even remember my own age.
You feel like that too sometimes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, I just want to disconnect sometimes, like from everything, go kind of go off the grid for a while. What'd you do this weekend other than that? Anything?
Mm, nothing.
Hey, do you know what today is?
Mm, not sure.
Today is National Tortilla Chip Day.
I was having some tortilla chips the other day, making my
See?
own nachos.
Very good. Hi, Isadora. Today is National Tortilla Chip Day, you guys. So before the end of the day today, you got to eat at least a tortilla chip. You make them yourself, Trey?
Yes, ma'am.
Nice.
Cheese dip and some salsa.
Yeah, sounds delish. Delicioso. See. Isadora, how about you? What'd you do this weekend for fun? Anything? Did you work? Make some monies? Some dinero? Oh, well, that's good though, isn't it? Isadora? Yes, Isadora. Yes, I love that so much. You have no idea. I love that. You guys are always not you all, not all of you, but so many teenagers, high schoolers are in such a hurry to become adults, right? You really need to enjoy this time. Absolutely. Good thinking. Good thinking. Okay, you guys, we have about 4 minutes still before class is supposed to start. But take a look behind me. Can y'all remember figure out what this question is asking? ¿En qué ciudad viviste el año pasado? What's the question asking? ¿En qué ciudad viviste el año pasado? What's your guess? You can unmute or pop it in the chat, whichever you prefer. ¿En qué ciudad? And here's your hint too, right here, as far as ciudad, right? ¿En qué ciudad viviste? Very good, Isadora. Trey, you got a guess? El año pasado. So in what city, right? And then we'd have to know what vivir meant. Vivir. Okay, very good, Isadora. Vivir is to live, right? So in what city have you lived? Because it's past tense, viviste. El año pasado, last year. Because we're talking about, we're still doing past tense, right? things that happened in the past. So, ¿en qué ciudad viviste? In what city did you live last year? How would we answer, you guys? I lived. Do you remember that? How do we answer I lived? So basically, we have to remember how to conjugate that past tense for ER and IR verbs. Do we remember those? They're so hard to remember, at least for me. Do you remember? How would we say I lived?
Vivi
Yeah, VV with the accent mark over the last I, right? VV.
in Vivi in Columbus, Georgia.
Perfect.
Año
Yep.
pasado.
Perfect, Trey. Nicely done. See, you could say VV in Columbus, Georgia, el año pasado. Very good. VV. Yeah. This past tense is hard, right, you guys? Well, it looks like maybe it's going to be the two of us. What do you say? We'll see who else.
Just the two of us.
Exactly. Well, Hill, I know, is gone, taking some kind of test or something. So I know he's not going to be here today. I can't speak for anybody else. Right? Okay, so en qué ciudad viviste? We would say viví en, right? Kansas City, Missouri, el año pasado, right? Sí. Is that funny, Isadora? Sí. Muy bien. All right. That's okay. You know, you guys ever heard that saying, the more the merrier, right? Sometimes that's not always the case. Yeah, sometimes it's not always the case. And I know that a couple of other students have connection issues, Wi-Fi issues, so I'm not sure what their deal is. Okay. All right, you guys, check out my background. Hoy es lunes, it's Monday, el 24 de febrero. Vamos a conocer el vocabulario de la sección 7.3, right? So we're supposed to have some new vocab today. Not a whole lot, right? This is not a whole lot of vocab. It's still about traveling and all of that. Okay, so this is why you don't have kind of some guided notes for this one. Okay. All right, so you guys ready to start? See, I'm going to put a link in the chat for you. Give me a second. Oh, okay, let me start this. Okay, make sure my stuff is all good to go here. Yeah, looks like it might be okay. Okay, so clase, go ahead and join the link. Click on the link there in the chat. And here's the code. And I'm going to share my screen. All right, Isadora's in. Muy bien. Any luck, Trey? All right. So this is called, you guys, destinos y alojamientos. And basically what this is talking about, remember we're traveling. So destinations and lodging. Alojamientos is lodging, like in other words, where you're going to stay. Okay. So there's not very many words here. So we're going to practice with several of them. We're going to practice with the ones from the last part of the unit that we did just to practice. And then we'll just review these. Yeah. Okay, all right, here we go. Maybe. Am I not starting? Start. Hmm. Well, there's Ayana. But why am I not starting? Start. 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 Wait a minute. Wait, I'm going to stop sharing for just a second. Hola, Ayana. I think this thing thinks I'm a student. Hold on a minute. Okay, Ayana, we are trying to get into this thing here. So there's the link in the chat for you. Okay. No. No. 3, 5. Okay, wait.
The probably thing is your window placement. That your taskbar at the bottom is kind of getting in the way of the next button. I'm not sure.
Yeah, it won't let me. It won't let me. Let me try again. Okay. Hola, Liliana. All right, you guys. Let's try this again. Can you back out of that link? I'll put in a new one. Because I think it was thinking I was a student. I'm not sure. We'll have to try again. Okay, this is our new one. Clase. And here's the new code. So try the new scenario. Ayana is in the new one. Twice. Okay, you guys try this this latest one here. 035949. Okay. Yeah, I don't know why. Start.
Try to
I'm gonna stop
hit,
sharing.
try to hit F11.
Yeah, I'm gonna stop sharing and see if that makes any difference. See, it shouldn't ask me as the teacher to join with the code. It should just let me start the thing. I've never had this happen before. It thinks I'm a student. It's not giving me an option to enter the code either. Has anybody ever come across this scenario?
Can you share your screen again?
Yeah. So he says
Let
join
me
with code.
let me see what if I raise my hand? You see it?
No, I see nothing. This is all I see. And like I said, it doesn't even let me put in a code.
What about that play button? The pause and play button to the top right? Try to pause it and unpause it. If you, wait, just keep.
Yeah, I mean, this is my teacher thing. This is my teacher thing. So I don't know. I'm in the teacher thing. So I don't know why it's not letting me.
Maybe it's like a PowerPoint slide where you gotta click the right on like one side of the slide to go to the right.
Cannot start without players. Let's just have one of you guys join this new one. Trey, you want to try?
Yes, ma'am.
Just try this this new one and see if anything's different. If it's not, we'll just do it the old-fashioned way with regular slides, I guess, and then I'll figure it out. All right, so Trey is in. No, it doesn't do anything. So that I don't understand, because like I said, that's my teacher slide, and I'm logged in as the teacher. Okay, we'll go ahead and back out of that. You guys, maybe we'll do it Wednesday instead of today once I get it fixed. Okay. And we'll just do it the old-fashioned way today. Yeah, so that was like the whole who won. So it said DeAndre. Yeah. I'll fix it. I'll have to fix it, I suppose. Okay. It's all good, you guys. It's all good. All right. Generical missed all the fun. So if you're just joining us, yeah, we did have a little tech issue, and that's okay, because what we're going to do today is, you guys, we have vamos a conocer el vocabulario de nueva sección, right? We're going to have our new section of vocab today, and there are very few words. There's like 6 of them or something, so it's no big deal, okay? So this is one reason why you don't have guided notes for this section, okay? So let's take a look at my screen. You guys, we have here the countryside, right? The countryside. Our word is el campo. So to help us remember, it's where we could go camping, right? Right? El campo. Easy peasy. This is our city, right? So clase la ciudad. La ciudad. That's our city word. Okay. And then these are kind of cool images, I thought. The one on the right is the beach. What would we say in English for this image on the left? What's our word in English? What word would we use for that picture, the one on the left? If it's not the beach, then what is it? Yeah, a shore. That would be a good one. What's another word for this image on the left in English? Yeah, if it was an island, if it's not connected, you know, to the larger land mass. Okay, shore. Okay, anybody else think of another word? My word that comes to my mind, not that any of those are wrong, is coastline, right? Like along the coastline, because that's the coast, you know, and there's not necessarily a beach along the coastline, like you can see here. So in Spanish, our word is costa. So coastline, costa, okay? And then our beach, does anybody already know this word for beach? Do you guys remember that word? Maybe from Spanish 1. What's our word for beach? Anybody know? La que? La. Anyone? La playa. La playa. Okay, so la costa, coastline. La playa is beach. Okay, muy bien. All right, so remember we were talking about destinations and lodging. Okay, and so our destinations can be la ciudad. It can be el campo, like maybe we're going to go camping in the woods or something like that, or we're going to go out to the country. Maybe we're going to go to the big city like Manhattan, right? Has anybody ever been to New York? Have you guys ever been to New York City? If you have not, I would recommend it. At some point, put it on your bucket list. Manhattan area is really, really something to experience. Okay. And so then when we get to our location, La Costa or La Playa, La Ciudad or El Campo, we got to have a place to stay. So clase, we need to reservar habitación. Okay. Habitación is like a room. And it means literally like habitation, like our habitat, like where we would inhabit the space. Okay. So necesitamos reservar la habitación, right? We have to rent or reserve our room. okay? And then when we get to wherever we're going to be, clase, vamos a hacer turismo. Turismo. Hacer turismo. Who can tell me what's a guess? What does that mean? Hacer turismo. What does it look like in English? Pop in the chat or you can unmute. Yeah, to go on like a sightseeing tour, right? Now, even if you didn't take a bus or a tour, you're still going to go, yeah, you're going to go out of town, you're going to go sightseeing. Isn't that right? I mean, that's what you go on vacation for, to go check out what's there, okay? So in English, sightseeing, in Spanish, we have to say hacer, to do, turismo, right? To do tourism. So literally sightseeing, okay? All right, preguntas, clase? Okay, so let me just go back through these again. Like I said, we're doing these the old way since we couldn't do our quizzes. So we had el campo y la ciudad, la costa y la playa como destinos, right? These are our destinations. Reservar habitación, you need a place to stay. Y hacer turismo, to do some sightseeing, right? Hacer, to do tourism, so to do some sightseeing. Okay, muy bien. Okay, let's take a look at this. Let's talk about these two verbs, because here's the plan. We've been practicing the past tense, this preterite tense, with AR, ER, and IR verbs, right? And I had asked you guys to have like a little sticky note or some piece of paper on your desk or wherever you work so that you can refer to it, okay, and just have it, because they're difficult to remember. Those have all been regular verbs. Now we kind of need to shift into some verbs that are not so regular, okay? And so if we look at what does ser mean and what does ear mean? So we have to know what these things mean before we can talk about them or use them in the past tense, right? So who can tell me, you can unmute, you guys, or put it in the chat. What does the verb ser mean? I put some examples in. Tú eres estudiante, nosotros somos de Italia, usted es doctora. What does this verb mean?
To be.
What'd you say, Trey?
To be.
To be, right? So, tú eres estudiante, you are a student. Somos de Italia, we are from Italy. Are you a doctor? Usted es doctora, right? This is all present tense, basic Spanish. You guys all learned this last year. To be, okay? No problem. What about ear? We practiced ear earlier this year. What does ear mean? So I put in some examples. Yo voy de vacaciones en Argentina. ¿Tú vas al concierto? O ellas van a comer en el restaurante? Yes, Ayana, muy bien. It means to go, right? Hi, Don Travius. So I'm going on vacation in Argentina. Are you going to the concert? Or they are going to eat in the restaurant. Remember, we learned how to make that near future, something I'm going to do here shortly, right? I'm going to do it. So we used ear for that. So what we need to do is transition from this present tense into this past tense, okay? If you are a note-taking person, I would recommend that you take a screenshot or that you write these down. Again, I would recommend that you have just one like sticky note things or something that you can just keep where you need to keep it so you can refer to it, okay? So if we look at my screen, you guys, the verbs ser, to be, and ear are irregular. Fortunately, they are the same word. Okay, they are the same word in the past tense. So my question to you is, how are we supposed to know if we're saying, for example, I am, or if I'm saying I went? How am I supposed to know? If it's the same, and I'm looking right here, okay? If it's the same word for both to be and to go, how do I know if I say yo fui, that I'm saying I was or I went? How am I supposed to know that? Any guesses? Ideas in chat? How would I know? Well, the only way I'm going to know is in the context of whatever the conversation is. Am I saying I was or am I saying I went? And the only way to know is, again, if we're reading something or in the course of the conversation. Okay. So the good news is that both of these verbs in the past tense, you don't have to worry about this one. Okay. Is the same thing. Yo fui, tú fuiste, usted, él, and ella fue. Nosotros fuimos, ustedes fueron, ellos and ellas fueron. Okay, so what does it mean? Well, it can mean I am, or rather, I was, you were, he was, we were, you all were, or they were. Okay, were. And was, I guess, in English, right? If it's go, then it's I went, you went, he went, we went, you all went, and they went. Okay, Isadora. So, same verb, two meanings. Okay, please make sure you write these down somewhere. If you're just joining us, we had some tech issues earlier. So we're doing plan B today, lesson wise. Okay. Please make sure that you're writing this down. Okay. Just this top part, somewhere where you can have it handy. Okay. Now, if we're saying that we're going or that we went somewhere, okay, let's look at this down here. It says, remember, you can use ir plus an a to say that you went to a certain place. So example, yo fui a Buenos Aires. I was in Buenos Aires in March. So we have to have an a when we're talking about a certain place. If we're talking about direction, yo fui de Mexico a Buenos Aires. I went from Mexico to Buenos Aires. Okay. Another way to say that is desde or hasta. I'm not so concerned about those. Okay. All right. Give me a thumbs up if you have these copied someplace, somewhere, because we're going to practice these in just a minute. So you're going to need to be able to see them. Okay, clase? And I have some behind me too up here. So give me a thumbs up when you have these screenshotted or written down on a piece of scrap or something. You're going to need to be able to look at them. Okay, Jan Urkel's got them. Anybody else? Okay, Trey's got them. Don Travius has them. Kinsey, Isadora, Liliana, Ayana. Let me know if you, because we're gonna look. You're gonna need to be able to see these. Okay. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. They're kind of fun to say. Fui, fuiste, fue, fuimos, fueron. Okay, ready for the next slide? Ready for moving on? Yeah, okay, perfect. I'm gonna stop sharing for just a second. Okay. All right. So again, we're not going to do all of these. You guys can unmute. In fact, I prefer if you unmute. Okay. Then, but if you want to put them in the chat, that's fine too. Okay. All right. So let's see. All of these are going to be the verb to be, right? So we're going to saying was or were. We're going to be saying was or were or something like that. Okay. So let's look at number one. We're going to say Victor was a student at the University of Salamanca, that's in Spain. Okay. Victor was a student. So in the chat or out loud, I prefer out loud, but whatever you feel comfortable with, or you could do both. Okay. What would we put in the blank? What do you think? Past tense. Victor was a student. Don Travius, past tense. Past tense. Right? Our instructions say en el pasado, past tense. Past tense, generical, past tense. In the preterite, what did we do? We're not doing it anymore. We did it already. That's it. If it's Victor and it's el, then it's going to be fue. Do y'all see what we're doing here today? Yeah. Okay. This slide was the verb ser and the verb ir in the past tense. We want to be able to say, I went. Okay. Or I was. Okay. All right. Very good. So this is what we're practicing. Okay. Past tense, right? Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's try. Let's do número tres. Okay, you guys tell me. You were Paco's friend at school. Okay, so you were Paco's friend at school. How would we fill in this blank? Okay, good, Don Travius. Good, Ayana. Again, you can unmute, you guys, or put it in the chat. You were Paco's friend at school. Very good, Liliana. Good, Ayana. You, it's you, generical, right? You, one person. So if you're thinking fuiste, very good. You're correct. Okay. Tú fuiste amigo de Paco. You were Paco's friend at school. Okay. All these things that we did in the past, right? Completed actions. Okay. All right. Muy bien. All right. Número cuatro, clase número cuatro. Mis amigos y yo. Very good, Ayana. Mis amigos y yo. Nope. Don Trivius. Try again. That's the imperfect tense. This is why we can't use online translators, okay? Because you're going to get different answers. That's the imperfect. This is the preterite when we use it for a completed action. Okay, good, DeAndre. Good, Liliana. Okay, so here we would put fuimos. Fuimos. Now, here's the next challenge. Somebody translate number 4 for me in English. Generical, what do you think number 4, or Isadora or Ayana? What does number 4 mean in English? That's it, DeAndre. What does number 4 mean in English? If I gave you this and said, hey, translate this sentence for me, what would it be? Knowing that,
can I do it?
there. Yeah, of course, anybody can do it. Absolutely.
My my friends and I were not were
What's
not
what's football? What's football?
soccer.
I didn't hear you.
Soccer
Soccer. So you know that jugar is to play, right? So if you're a jugador, what are you?
player.
A player, right? So my friends and I were not soccer players. Finish it up. En esta escuela, what do you think? What's in escuela?
School.
School, yeah. So in this school, right? So my friends and I were not soccer players at this school or in this school. Okay. Translating is key because it helps to us to remember that this is past tense. Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's do numero cinco on this page, and then I'm going to confuse you even more. Let's do numero cinco. Ustedes. Ustedes. What do we put in the blank? Again, you can unmute or you can put your answer in the chat, you guys. What is number 5? Ustedes. Número 5. Ustedes. ¿Qué? Yeah, Liliana, good job. Anyone else? Good, DeAndre. DeAndre, you got an answer? Yeah, very good. So, fueron. Ustedes fueron estudiantes de español or español. All right, let's try to translate it. What's your guesses on translating for number 5, clase? Number 5. You can unmute or you can put it in the chat, whichever you prefer.
You all were Spanish students?
Yeah, very good. You all were Spanish students, or we would say in English, were you all Spanish students, right? This is our were. Okay, this is our word. Oops, right here. This is were. Okay, so were you guys Spanish students? Okay, so that's when we translate this meaning to be, right? So let's look at what we've done. Victor was, okay. You were, okay, you guys, this is super duper important. This is we were, and you all were. Okay, that's what we were saying here. Victor was a student at the University of Salamanca. You were Paco's friend. My friends and I were not soccer players. You all were Spanish students. Okay, were, was, and were. Okay, questions there. All right, so now let me erase all my messes. Okay, now let's look up here. Ir means to go. So now our sentences are going to say went. Went. Y'all with me here? So let's try number 1. Okay, I'm not worried about the rest of this. Los turistas. What form of ir in the past tense? How are we going to say the tourists went? Pop it in the chat. The tourists went. How do I do that? They went. Clase? How do I say they went? Yes, very good, Liliana. Yeah, let's not worry about the or the day or any of that. Let's just focus on the verb right now, okay? But yes, good point. So los turistas, if it's they, if it's ellos, clase, then it's going to be fueron. Isn't that right? Fueron. The tourists went. Okay. Yeah. Okay. How about numero cinco? Let's jump down here. Maria Cecilia. This is one woman. This is singular. Her name is Maria Cecilia. Okay. So how would we say Maria Cecilia went? Number 5. Okay, good, Ayana. Anyone else? Maria Cecilia went. Very good, DeAndre. Good, Janerical. Muy bien. Okay, so we would say clase fue, right? Fue. Maria Cecilia fue. Okay, muy bien. All right, let's skip down here to number 9. El señor y la señora Garcia went. Good, Generical. Number 9, you guys. El señor y la señora Garcia went. Good, DeAndre. Anyone else? Went. How do we do it? We're going to switch gears here pretty soon, you guys, but let's try and finish this up. Went. Okay, muy bien, muy bien. Very good, you guys. So it's plural, right? So we're going to say fueron again. Okay, all right. Now, let's switch it up just a little bit. Now, Liliana, let's go back and add our and our they and all of those things that we need to kind of remember how to do, okay? So if we come back up here to number 1, we want to say, and I'm going to try to kind of shove this here. We'll just use this like, yeah, an empty space, okay? So if we say, you guys, the tourists went to the art museum yesterday. Okay. So here's what we would need to do, right? I'll model the first one. Los turistas fueron. They went to. We need this word to in there. So we have a, and then we have this word the, to the Museum of Art. Okay, in Spanish, do you remember what we do, you guys? We make the contraction al. Okay, los turistas fueron al museo, blah, 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 yesterday. Okay, questions? Now, why do we do that? Because museo, in this case, is masculine. It's el museo. So you have to make the contraction. Okay, so let's come down here and let's look at number 5. Okay, this is, you know, we've done this before. So this is kind of just a reminder. Okay, number 5. So we have Maria Cecilia. Okay, fue. She went to the beauty shop last Thursday. She went to the beauty shop last Thursday. Oops. I just messed that up, didn't I? I'm going to try that again. Maria Cecilia fue. Okay. Now, the difference here is that peluqueria is feminine. Okay. So we don't really have to do anything because it's feminine. We just need to add the a. A la peluquería, blah, 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 last Thursday. María Cecilia fue a la peluquería el jueves pasado because it's feminine. Okay, we don't have to make the contraction or anything. Okay. All right, let's look down here at number 9. Stop me if you all have a question. Okay. Number 9. El señor y la señora Garcia. I'm just going to put ellos in here because it's faster for me. So ellos fueron. So where did they go? Where did they went? Okay, bad English. They went to Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu is a place name. Okay, they went to Machu Picchu last autumn, el otoño pasado. So all we have to do is just say, Machu Picchu. Okay. Machu Picchu. Ellos fueron a Machu Picchu. So when it's a place name, you don't have to worry about the and making any of these contractions like we did up here. Okay, or Allah or al or any of that. If it's a place name, it's just going to be a, or if you need to say they, like from, then that's what you would do. You wouldn't make a contraction. Okay. All right. Any questions there before I stop sharing? Okay. Okay, clase. Bueno, this is not fun stuff at all. Not fun stuff at all. At all, at all. Okay. So let's kind of recap real quick before we switch gears. Okay. So check out our images. Check out our images. On the first one, you know, we're on the beach or we're on at the coastline, La Costa. Over here, we're camping, maybe in the mountains, right? Here we are, we could say in the countryside, right? Here we could say we're in the countryside, whatever word we want to use, okay? And of course, none of this is true. You can replace it if you want to use a word that you know. So let's look at our question. ¿A dónde fuiste el verano pasado? Where did you go last summer? ¿A dónde fuiste? So we can say fui a la if it's a feminine place, like fui a la costa. I went to the coastline. Okay. Fui al museo. I went to the museum. Or we could say fui a Machu Picchu. I went to Machu Picchu. Okay. So pick a word that you know. Maybe pick a word we've practiced today. Pop your sentence in the chat where you went, right? Because it's asking you, ¿a dónde fuiste? And you're saying, I went. Okay. Fui, I went. And you can pop it in the chat or you can unmute. ¿Dónde fuiste el verano pasado? Where did you go last summer? And if didn't go anywhere, that's fine. Think of you went shopping, think of a restaurant, think of, I don't know, wherever. Okay. Let's practice. Muy bien, Liliana. Liliana, are you willing to unmute and read us your sentence?
Fui a Panama City Beach.
Perfecto. Muy bien. So generical, it doesn't have to be the truth. Just pick a word you know. You could tell me you went to McDonald's. Okay. It doesn't matter. Just pick a word you know. Okay. Anyone else? Good job, Liliana. Kinsey, Dontravius, Ayana, Isadora, Generical, Trey. Tell me where you went. Okay. Muy bien. DeAndre, you want to read it to us?
Fui,
Fui.
fui a Savannah, Georgia.
Okay, perfect. Fui, I went to Savannah. You guys, we could lie. That's the great thing about foreign language class. It gives you so many opportunities to lie. I mean, I could say, yo fui a Paris. Like I went to Paris. Well, that's not true, but you know, it's an opportunity to lie, right? To say something fun. So somebody give me another one. Okay, Generical, put it in a sentence for me. Take a look at my screen. I went. to. Dinerical. I went to. Can you unmute? I went to. Ayana, can you read us your sentence? Go ahead and unmute, Ayana.
Fui a Orlando, Florida.
Muy bien. Fui a Orlando, Florida. Fui. Okay. Don Travius, you gonna give this a try? Isadora, how about you? ¿Dónde fuiste? Where were you?
Fui a Helen, Georgia.
Muy bien. Is that far from you or close?
It's 3 hours.
Oh, 3 hours. Okay. Lejos. Yeah. Don Travius, did you answer me? I don't remember now. Don Travius or Generical or Kinsey? Generical, what's your sentence? How would you say I went to? I went to McDonald's. I went to Burger King. How would we do it? Okay, fui a Burger King. Muy bien, fui a Burger King. Sí, muy bien. That's okay, Kinsey. Fui a Burger King. Okay, muy bien. All right, you guys. So you see, this is hard. We're just going to have to keep practicing and practicing, all right? No problem. No problem there. All right. Deep breath. The last thing I have for us today is a short video as a reminder of ways, since we're talking in past tense, right? We need to be able to say like last week, you know, last summer, el verano pasado, el mes pasado, last month, right? Last winter, el invierno pasado, things that sort of add to our sentence to tell us that it's past tense, you know what I mean? So I just have a short video on that. So let me get this lined up. Okay, in the meantime, you guys can kind of take a breath. Just make sure that you can hear, because, you know, I feel like the volume goes down a lot when I share the screen. Okay. All right. So make sure that y'all can hear. Sharing. All right, here we go. Okay, escuchen, por favor, presta atención.
Hola, hola. ¿Qué tal? You've begun learning the preterite to say what happened in the past. Now we'll take a look at some adverbs and time expressions that help you specify exactly when in the past certain things happened. Start with hoy as a beginning point, and we'll work our way back in time. Anoche, ayer, anteayer. La semana pasada, el mes pasado, el año pasado. You can also use the word pasado with a specific day of the week or month. El lunes pasado, el enero pasado. Remember that all days and months are masculine in Spanish, and the adverb antes specifies the order in which two things happened. Anoche estudié el cálculo por 2 horas, pero antes lavé los platos. Amalia regresó de sus vacaciones la semana pasada.
Okay, so let's look at these. Last night, I studied calculus for 2 hours, but before that, I washed the plates. Okay, antes, before that. Okay, I washed the dishes. Amalia regresó. Amalia returned from her vacations last week. Okay. Yep.
El miércoles pasado, Donato y Felipe no jugaron al fútbol.
So el miércoles, last Wednesday. Okay. Last Wednesday, Donato and Felipe did not play soccer. Okay. Past tense, right?
¿Cuándo fue el Día de la Independencia en Argentina? Fue el mes pasado, en julio.
Okay, so we're looking for a date here. When was Independence Day in Argentina? It was, fue, last month, el mes pasado. Okay.
¿Fuiste a ver a tu madre esta mañana? No, la visité anteayer. Hoy a las 10, ella salió con 2 amigas.
Okay, so this is our to be form, right? Did you go to see your mom this morning or yesterday morning? Did you go to see your mom this morning? No, I visited her day before yesterday. Okay, fuiste.
Specific hours of the day, which you know how to express, can also place an event in the past. A las 10, mi madre salió con 2 amigas. A la 1, todas fueron a Casa Picante para almorzar. Y a las 4, ella volvió a casa para ver la televisión.
Okay, so again, you can use time is her point that she's trying to make. At 10 o'clock, a las 10, right? My mom went out with her friends, with 2 friends, salió. At 1 o'clock, everybody went to this restaurant for lunch, a la 1, at 1 o'clock. Or a las 4, at 4 o'clock, she returned. Ella volvió a casa to watch TV, okay?
This isn't really too difficult. Once you learn the time expressions, you can pop them into your sentences to make them more dynamic and more specific. Ya es todo. Nos vemos pronto.
Okay. So in your resource library, you guys, I don't expect you to memorize all of those, but know that they're there for you to use them to make your sentences better. And it is in your resource library. There's a visual in there so that you can just pluck some words out if you want to use them in your sentences. Just know that it's there for you as a resource. Okay. All right. Preguntas. Any questions, clase? Any questions before we do something else? And then I'm going to show you what else we need to do today. Any questions? Preguntas. This is pure practice, right? You guys, pure practice. Unless you want to sit down and try to memorize all this stuff, right? So this visual that y'all see on my screen is the visual that you have in your module. So antes, before, ahora, now, ayer or anoche, yesterday or last night. Okay, so you have some choices that you can use. Okay. This is meant to be conversational. So I need you all to be ready to speak. Okay. So let's look at our question. This is our vocab from today. Viajaste a la playa con tu familia. Viajaste. Past tense. What is it asking? Viajaste. What's it asking? What's viajar? Viajaste. This is a regular AR verb. We've practiced this last week. What is viajaste? Somebody help me. Clase, what is viajar? What does viajar mean? What verb is that? Well, ir is to go. Yeah, I put it in the chat. What is viajar? We've practiced this last week. To do what? To
Travel.
Yeah, to travel, to voyage, viajar, right? To travel. So this question is saying what? Viajaste a la playa? Viajaste. What's it asking? It's past tense. So how would we translate it? Did you? Go ahead, Trey.
You travel to the beach with your family?
Very good. Remember, it's past tense, right? That haste tells us it's past tense. So did you travel, right? Did you travel in the past to the beach with your family? If we wanted to say yes, look behind me. If you guys can see my Zoom screen, viajar is a regular AR verb. So I can say yes or no, right? Sí, viajé, right, you guys? Viajé a la playa con mi familia el mes pasado, last month. Yeah, I went to the beach with my family last month. Sí, viajé a la playa con mi familia el mes pasado, right? Last month. Okay. Because cuando, it's asking when, right? So we have to start trying to put these kind of things together. Yeah, you guys? Okay. All right, let's try one more. All right, this is our vocab from today. I didn't mean to do that. Reservaron. Apparently I can't read and click at the same time. Reservaron una habitación en el hotel cerca de la costa. What is this asking? This is, again, this is vocab that we practice with today. Reservaron una habitación en el hotel. What's the question asking, you guys? Yes. So, who reserved? It's aron at the end. It's an AR verb, right? So we can say, did they do what? Did they, because it's a question. You know, let's just simplify. They reserved a room. Okay, where, clase? En el hotel. What is that? En el hotel. At the hotel. What is cerca de la costa? You have some clues there in the images. What is cerca de la costa? What is costa? Ayana? Well, beach was playa. What was the other word? What is costa? What's it look like in English? Playa was beach. This is coastline. Yeah. So yeah, the coastline. So what is cerca? Do y'all remember that word maybe from last year? Cerca? Near the coast, right? Because we want to be on the water, right? So they reserved a room at the hotel near the coast, right? Did they in the past? Did they already do it? Did they? Okay. And then what's quien? What does quien mean? What does this mean? What is quien? Quien. It's this the second question. Quien. Quienes. What is quien?
Who?
Yeah, who? So the question says, did they reserve a room at the hotel near the coast? Well, who did? Who did? Who reserved? Who reserved a room? Okay. So we can say something like, you know, pick anything you want. You could say Bob y Susie, right? Reservaron. I miss my R. Reservaron una habitación en el hotel cerca de la costa. Who did? They did. Bob y Susie reservaron. Okay. Ooh, we have practice. We have to practice, don't we, you guys? See. Okay, that's all good. All right, deep breath. Deep breath. We'll get it. We'll work through it. Okay. You willing to try, right? Okay. Again, all of your stuff is in the module You can always make yourself some sticky notes, okay, to help you with during class, because it doesn't really help to guess. It doesn't teach us the right thing if we're just guessing. But if we have a piece of paper that we can look at, and we can choose the right answer, because choosing, right, is real different from guessing. Okay, choosing will help us to remember. Okay. All right. Next thing we need to do, that's okay, Kenzie. We have about 10 minutes ish. I'm trying to get my screen pulled up here. Give me a second. You guys might want to meet me in Canvas while I'm waiting on my computer. You guys want to head on over to Canvas, that would be great. Okay, so we are in Unidad 7 Argentina, right? If you want to check out my Zoom screen, it's there. So meet me there, Canvas, Unit 7, Unidad 7. Give me a thumbs up when you're there. Okay. Gracias. All right. So scroll down to the bottom. Okay. You have vocabulario here. Again, that you can access, that this is what we did today, right? So you have that. You can always go back and look at. Go ahead and click on the next two, our VHL assignments. ¿A dónde viajaron? Where did they travel to? So here's our example. ¿A dónde viajó Tim? Well, based on what Tim is wearing, you could say a lot of things. You could say Tim viajó a la ciudad. Okay. This dude, he probably went to maybe the beach, right? You can give him a name. Tim viajó a la playa. Okay. Or you could even say Tim fue a la playa. I don't care. It doesn't matter. Okay. Whatever you want to say. So simple sentences about where these people went based, or what they did based on different places that they visited during their vacation. Okay. Questions there? So it's just 3 short sentences. And you can just follow the example, and that's fine. The next one is our vocab that we did today. Ciudad, campo, costa, and montaña we've had before, mountain, okay? And all you're doing is, says Tess wants to go on vacation. She has to decide where she's going. Fill in the blanks with the words from the word bank. So you're just going to use the word bank and type it in Spanish and submit. Easy. So if you apply yourself, you could probably at least get this first one done, and probably the other one too. Okay. Let me know if you need help. Don't leave class, stay in class. And that way, if you have a question, I'll be more than happy to help you. So those are the 2 practices for what we did today. All right. Preguntas. Sorry that our quizzes wasn't working. I don't know why, and I'll have to fix it. Right. I've made a million of them, so I'm not sure why that one decided not to function. Okay, Kinsey and Ayana, let me know if you need help. And you guys check units in VHL, check unit 6 also for missing assignments. Okay, not just unit 7, because some of you still have assignments in 6 that you're missing. And if you don't know how to do that, then let me know, and I can try to help you get there. FYI, um, the 9 weeks exam schedule has been posted in Canvas. As early as March 3rd, you will have your 9-week exams on, I think it's first and fifth hour classes. So if you have any missing assignments, you guys, I encourage you to get them caught up. Because you're going to need to practice right before you can do the test. Okay, but just know that's coming up right around the corner. Kenzie, did you have trouble logging in today? Yep, go ahead. Yeah, for all of it, or like for VHL or anything, Kenzie? For anything? Okay, yep, I can do that. Yeah, yeah. Okay, Kenzie, don't log off, okay? I'm just gonna type it all up in chat. Don't log off just yet. Okay, some of you are still, I'm just looking around in VHL. Some of you guys are still missing stuff for Unit 6. Please make sure that you are good. Okay, Kinsey, check the chat. You might want to maybe take a picture if you got your phone. All right, how are we doing, you guys? Okay, perfect, Kinsey. Let me know if I can help. Okay, you guys, we're doing all right? Because that's our time for today. So if you have any last minute questions, now would be the moment. Liliana, that makes me happy that you're using that. I love it. Anyone else? Preguntas? Questions? Okay, you guys, have a great evening. Nos vemos miércoles. Right? See you Wednesday. Nos vemos miércoles. Sí. Adiós a todos. Adiós. Have a great. Thank you. Okay, gracias a todos. Kenzie, did you have a question? No, you're having issues with your connection today, huh, Kenzie? Okay, did you get the list, Kenzie, before I end the Zoom? Because you're frozen again. Okay. Adiós a todos. Have a good day. That's okay. Did you get the list, Kenzie? Before I log off? Yes. Okay, perfect. All right. Have a good one. Adios. Stay safe.